with Brandini Mojo, Tarot, and Spirit Messages. Today I wanted to bring a message to you from the source. This message is about love, and I want to give this message from Spirit because I got a download the last few nights. Night before last, I had a very, very strong dream and conversation with Spirit, and I figured I wanted to share that with you guys first before I begin. The daily and the now energy reading. Sorry, I need to situate this camera. I have got to get some better ways of being able to hold this thing still while I'm giving you guys dailies. Alright, maybe that'll work. Okay, it's 1:11 on the clock. Been on for 11. Alright. Okay, the dream download was about love, standing in the presence of your own love. Spirit was talking to me while showing me everything that I've done to myself on this journey out of fear. Spirit also showed me the lessons that I learned about the law of love through this journey. The law of love states that when you love from an unconditional place, that is that deepest place inside of you, that love is not coming from a selfish place. It is coming from a place in the universe which holds no prejudices. It holds no humiliation. It holds no suffering. It holds no restrictions. It holds no expectations towards you and another. It is interconnectedly eternal. Okay? And for some out there that struggle with this concept of love and suffer through this emotion that is so deeply, deeply connected to who you are, to better understand the suffering, to better understand the love itself, is to go deep within and ask yourself, is this love? Is this selfish? Is this restricting? Is it humiliating? Is it putting you in a place of suffering? And if it is putting you in a place of suffering, Spirit asks that you go within yourself and face that shadow and come to the conclusion of whether you are loving from a selfish place or whether you are loving from an unconditional place. Because the message in this from Spirit is that love is the greatest gift in combination to Source that we have. To survive this planet through purging through the past, on this journey of healing, letting go of things that no longer serve you, things that make you evaluate painful aspects of the self. Spirit was showing me that through unconditional love, we are truly freeing ourselves of our suffering. Love is not a law that makes you suffer. It is a law, not an emotion. I have emotions that connect to this law because it is the number one law of the universe, because it transcends everything. It transcends time and space. It transcends gravity. It transcends through one dimension and another. It one-dimensional space and another. yourselves that love emotion. There are emotions associated to love, but it is not an emotion in itself. It is a law. Okay. Of existence, that action, it is the source itself, because love is within you and a part of everything in existence, in every universe, in every dimension. It means that through time and space, be what is, and what is are forever eternal. And that also means that you are free of cages, you are not or in the dark. This message from Spirit was so clear, and healing at this arcane knowledge has the capability to release us from the parasitic energies that try and taint the journey and this knowledge. The many messages I've received through my dreams, I have been unable to deny them, the truths in them. Truth is something cannot comes. You are fighting these over what love means, then it is time to evaluate this and not ignore it any longer. It is time for us to stand in our own autonomy of love and further understand love's purpose within ourselves and understanding the law of love. Okay. You are being conditioned in strength of self and standing your own truth. Love is and has been a subject that first has caused you the greatest pain. But Source is also telling you that in order to understand this journey, you must go through some trends of pain. And especially if you are a light star seed, or you child, or an indigo child, or just a divine soul on a mission, is part of your going through the missions and understanding your own autonomy, and let go conceived notions that you have of love, and therefore walk by side with it flowing within you and all around you. Okay, this meant for me to share. I was going to do it yesterday, but I needed to take some time to rest. This has been a very trying journey for me as well. But these are the downloads that I'm receiving. This is the I was meant to share, as I'm concerned, is timeless, is to get out, and it is heard when it needs to be heard. So before I get into the reading, I want to put this disclaimer in that if this message or these messages do not resonate with you, it is not for you. And I will say that these messages come in time whenever you need them, meaning time is fluid. It means I could put this message out today and you could watch it a year from now and a year from now. I've already cleansed and shuffled my cards. I have 4 new decks that I'm going to be using. If I will use the before and after tarot. But I do have the Radiant Rider-Waite that I'm going to be using, and to start off with, I'm going to be using the Radiant Rider-Waite, and actually, I don't know why I'm explaining this. I'm going to be using 4 decks. One would be the Vice Versa Tarot. By Lunia Weatherstone. I'll be using Radiant Rider-Waite by Avia Venefica. And I'll also be using the Before and After Tarot by Corinne Kenner. Okay? So, in Afterthought, Power of Love, God is power. God is nurturing. God is healing, the power to transmute dark energy into pure light energy. Okay, love is source and the source of transmutation and shifting power. Attain your wisdom and knowledge through the suffering of attaining the truth. Unconditional love triumphs over all obstacles and stand against all fear, and know that love always wins. Okay, now let's begin this reading. Today, in the overall energy, in the now, flames on a twin flame resonates. If not, feel free to humbly click off the. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and actually start with vice versa. I love this deck. I could not keep my hands off of it yesterday. That's why I was kind of so worn out after a time. I had my hands on these decks all day yesterday trying to get familiarized with them. Today, guys, my apologies. If the sound not great, I really try to get over these things with YouTube. Anyway, deep breath. Divine Spirit, way showers, ascended masters, angels, please open me up, understanding, truth, and love to give these messages to the Divine Collective today. Let's try to get these messages as clear and as forthright as possible for the highest good. Spirit, I'd like to thank you today for waking me up today and giving me the ability to be able to share these messages through my intuition, the intuition that you have given me. And thank you for this life purpose, and thank you for this journey. Let's spread light and love to our collective, Spirit. Tapping into the overall, in the now energy. Okay, in the collective's headspace, we have the Three of Cups. We have the Sun. Those are too many. Justice. And I'm not sure, guys, why, but every time I try to upload a video, I either have to cut it short or have to cut it down to like 5 minutes, which is something I don't understand quite yet at this point. But this is why I'm doing the lives, guys. So I'm sorry that if you guys have to hit the replays, but if you are hitting the replays, please let me know that you have watched. If you've liked this video, you don't necessarily have to share because not everybody's into this kind of stuff. But if you're liking and subscribing to my channel, I honor guys. And two, when you like and subscribe or you comment, or if you'd like to see reading, please comment in the comment. In the comment, let me know that this is interest. This is what you would like to see me do on my channel. Give me space. Overall space for the Divine Collective. One more card, please, Spirit. Thank you. Okay, so what I'm seeing so far, you have the Three of Cups, and in this actual, really a very beautiful meaning. Still getting used to these guys, so. Okay, that side of the card. By day, the ritual continues. The two chalices on the ground correspond to light. A flock of 13 doves takes flight, is a number sacred to Venus, her bird. Love is all around. Rate it. Friends, just with their company. You don't need to have a special occasion to celebrate, as friendship itself is cause for celebration. If you have a spiritual community, you might want to go to church or to temple or just from nature. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. Following that, we have the Sun card, and then we have Justice. So in the Sun, we have when the Sun card appears, it bodes well for any secured. It doesn't matter if you have doubts or fears secured. The universe is working in your favor. You've been waiting for the right timing for a new enterprise. That time has come. Let your joy and let your light all will. The Justice card is letting you know. I strongly believe that here, that time where whatever engine going on in your, you have the power and the opportunity with the Sun card here and with the Three of Cups. Okay, and so Justice. This, the situation, the whole truth in your, okay, nothing but the truth. There is no with Justice, but remember, she is the essential embodiment of fairness. Whatever needs to be done in the situation, make it fair, balanced, and ethically clean. Whatever that. Okay, I also feel indicating right now, do not yourself on a low to create any karma that's going to come back around, because this is a time energy rational time. As all of the forefront, you can face process, deplete them if they need to go. Okay, it does not mean act or get triggered and fall into a place where you are taking steps backwards in your journey. Okay, because that is, this energy is telling you to be strong with the winds of justice. For if you make bad karma now in this time, or you backtrack, you're going to have to go back and you're going to have to do all work that you've just been doing all over again. If you don't stand within and remain planted and balanced, justice is all about balance as well. Okay? So, with that being said, I have the Four of Cups here on this side, and I do believe that that correlates and corresponds to the Justice card. Okay? And what I just said to you. Because this is a morning, this card, the Four of Chalices on this side, things aren't going your way. If life seems dull and meaningless, it's the perfect time to just sit it out and take a break. You do not have to accept every offered just because you are without direction at the moment. It is not a time to compromise your dreams. Do your best not to sulk or take your emotions out on others. Like the crab, it may be just to scurry off on your own until your spirits are free or rise above the lower vibrational energy. Okay, that for some of you, if you're feeling triggered in these moments, to take a time out and take a breather, meditate for a moment, And then if you need to go back to that situation to complete something, just take a break for a moment and then go back to it. But don't get sidetracked and don't get discouraged at this point in time. Just maintain your grounding, maintain balance, and you should be just fine. Okay. This card. And on this side, Judgment is here. Judgment's watching. A time of spiritual awakening has arrived. Okay, this is what is in the collective's heart space. Okay, everyone is going through that spiritual awakening, and it's time now. You are called to atone for your sins. In other words, to correct your mistakes where it is possible, to ask for forgiveness, offer forgiveness to others. Atonement is not groveling, rather the acceptance of human failings and foibles. Judgment is related to justice, and in that both deliver only what is fair, that has been or worse. The Judgment card is a gift to walk clean. And here we have the Five of Wands, and on this side it does mean battle. This side, the healthy competition or intellectual sparring is becoming heated. There's danger of explosion in the tension that isn't dialed back. You might gently probe for wounded places in the situation, but beware of pushing too hard. There's unseen anger that needs an outlet or a timeout if that seems more appropriate. The endeavor is threatened from within. Okay, and this was me talking the other day when I did this reading on Friday. I was talking about a majority of divine souls right now because they are battling. They are still battling these ethereal dark energies. Okay, but with the Magician card here in these battles, I do believe that you're being given the tools to, with the Chariot card, you're being given the tools to move past this situation. You're being given the tools. You have the tools. The Sun card being here, when I talked about love, conditional love from source, when you're loving from an unconditional space, that is that unfuckwithable place, guys. That is that place where you become unfuckwithable. Okay? Is House. Hey, RuPauli. How are you? So back to the Magician. We have the Magician in his stance, okay, to change reality by will. The reality to change by will. The Magician channels the natural forces of magic that are around all of the time. He isn't necessarily more personal magic than anyone else, but he's dedicated himself to honing his powers and honing in his skills. He believes in his magic, and it is belief that makes magic possible. This card says that you have all you need to make any desired changes in your life or excel at any undertaking, but you must believe in it to make it real. Oh, honey, you're fine. If you can't take that reading now, that's fine. Just take that reading whenever you can. I am doing great. I woke up in a very good mood today. I had this message from Spirit to tell you to stand in your own autonomy so that you can work through these troublesome energies that are floating through in nature right now. Mercury being in retrograde, and with the Pisces energy trying to take you backward It's telling you, Spirit's telling you right now in these moment times, these now hours, to stay strong, your own autonomy, stand in your truth, because justice is here. And with justice being here and judgment being here as well, now is not the time for us karmic mistakes that can come and hit us in the ass later. Okay, we want to meet your vibration. Yes, ma'am. Everything I said to you in that last join me on was truthful. Okay. It was truthful, but like I said, if you when you can get that reading with me, Rupali, we get deeper to your personal situation, and I can give you insight to it. I would love to do that for you. Now, I hope that these overall divine collective readings bring you, because, okay, the magician with the chariot here, the magician, all of the power that right now, stay balanced, believe in your, to overcome these darker energies, these battles. Don't feed on you because of this battle within. Stay strong, stay protected. You are the magician, and being in that autonomy, standing in your own truth, standing in your own love, unconditional love, you're going to move out. The chariot here, this is going to the more nature, demand and focus might be the position you forward along your, but be aware of what you are holding back. You may not now be free. You are free. Just means you should just stay vigilant and protect yourself, like I said the other day. Okay, for the outcome energy for the divine collective, being divine souls or twin flames, you have the star card in reverse, and I believe that this side of the card is just as beautiful in Venus as the front of the card. The meaning for both sides is just as beautiful, and this one is, I believe, you have the feminine, you have Venus, and she is encountering in spirit masculine. Is on a 5D level, if you are a twin flame, you and your divine masculine are communicating in that's you just, it's for real. I make this shit up. Divine masculines and divine feminine 3D in the 5, and the breakthrough is coming more powerful than you imagined or dared hope. Everything is falling into place. Harmony is to receive the flowing of blissful and grateful heart. When you need the calling and you heed the calling of your going back to that expression of love that I in the beginning, that is what this is talking about. When you heed the calling of your highest self, you can expect miracles. Your highest self is pure love, and it is unconditional connection and an eternal connection to source. Okay. So with that being said, love is that deep. And here we have the Knight of Wands. Okay. We know you're tired. We know you're tired. We know that you're battle worn. But here is a time where you can divine feminine's hand, where you can take this divine hand in spirit and walk together regardless of what is going down in the mundane world, okay? And this is telling you, this card right here, this Chariot, is telling you to take your focus off of the mundane perspective, because it is stunting your growth. It is creating more of a battle in yourself, that use all of, and come to this, because you have this knowledge, you have this Akashic knowledge where unconditional love is concerned. Unconditional love is not created in the universe. It is not the greatest law of the universe for no reason. The law of love will free you from your suffering, and understand love, and understanding that it is not in motion, and separating yourself from that preconceived notion is what you have to have. It is not, because love comes from within, and that is why justice and judgment are here, to remind you. It is also why the Sun card is here, to remind you that you can end the by taking which, understanding unconditional love, and utilizing that truth by standing in your own autonomy with it. Okay? It's going to liberate you from suffering. Said Spirit, unconditional love. We are in unconditional love, and in that notion, we are spirit. Spirit is us. It makes us eternally okay? Eternally connected. Oh, let's go ahead. Adored. The seductive time to remove your armor, lay down your defenses, self. That's why, guys, the Holy Father, the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Ghost, at some point when we become to have the infinity symbol. And then with Trinity, you also have the number 3. 3. With the King of Wands here, a king sits upon a throne that is partly made of natural wood, beryl, wooden stave of the same sort. He is dressed in court garb other than armored greaves, and his legs. Spotted salamander, symbolic of fire, rests at his feet like the Knight of Wands. Okay, this is also the Wands card. Fire, spirit, Sagittarius. But and I especially the fire cards, they are embodiments because they're fiery in nature. Fire can embody I feel like fire can embody most aspects of things. In the elements. Like the Knight of Wands, the King on supporting, just call energy. This is a pun. He's a man of war, not know it for lives. He doesn't have that, so let handle, and the other kings, or this king, the job fine. Like I should other will become course with a message to offer of one another, and that could be between you and any. Okay, on your respecting between you and anyone, respecting that power, connection, you minds, and I love your journey path. Period. Your people that are coming, you're vibing your tribe right now. So at these same like-minded people, you respecting one another's power, standing in your own autonomy, and because this is a nighttime setting, this is your inner self. Things that's old, but they're not. Being old political or social attitudes and such. But this that you're experiencing right now is touching on integrity. So this is also, I believe that this is someone who is trying to stand in their own and taking that sun energy, that masculine energy, and you're trying to transmute it. But what is not, and way more, and what is not. This is definitely collective journeys and divine feminine and divine masculines alike is your overall. And this does not today. This message from spirit does not in the same together in union. Am I coming with another divine count? No, the union with yourself. Okay, because divine not only is reiterating this message to me to understand and to not with it to take seriousness right now in this moment. These very because be successful standing in our own. Okay, for one thing, with the world card here, we are closing out cycles. And when you're closing out cycles, I'm going to tell you right now that I know that we're all tired. Okay, I know you get tired and you get weary. But that's when you have to take some time every once in a while to replenish your soul, to ground, to rest, and then you get back on it because that's what this journey is about. This coming will never stop. They will continue. But for those of you that are watching this video right now, you're understanding that you're on a journey that you can't turn back from. And this is part of it. This is part of the mission. This is part of being a light worker or standing autonomy and love, is knowing that you're going to have to constantly face oppositions. Okay? Because there's energy out there, dimensionally, interdimensionally, etc. There's energy out as not want living as a source of light for others in the darkness. And that is what this message is for. Even though you're closing out cycles, Spirit knows you're tired. Spirit is proud of you. But at the same time, Spirit's telling you don't forget to yourself and give yourself self-love. Unconditional. And using that unconditional love as your greatest weapon. It is your greatest power and greatest transformation. It is your greatest tool for survival. If you are not feeling a sense of completion, it may be because you are thinking in terms of continuum or rather than a cycle. Some of you are closing out cycles and some of you are not. That everything is linked, but it is important to mark eternal renewal relies on acknowledgement of what has been achieved or accepted, celebrated, and released. Don't court exhaustion, body, mind, or spirit by hurrying onward. Meaning, don't rush yourself. Everything is happening just as it is meant to happen. And honestly, I feel like this message is so strong and so clarified that I'm not even going to pull clarifiers for this reading today. Because Spirit is very in this, that for those of you watching and those of you that are needing this message to help you get from a place of unstuck to help you move forward with that Chariot card. Okay, because you have all of the tools. You're a beautiful, bright individual, all of you. All of the rest when you need one. That overall energy here at the bottom, since I shuffled, at the bottom of the deck, you have the Two of Wands. Okay? Unify within, as above and so below. Because no matter what. Okay, this is for those twin flames.
but you have to stay in your own autonomy right now. You cannot focus on the mundane aspects of things. You have to focus on what is truth and remove the illusions so that you can have this Two of Wands here. This Two of Wands with the World. The things you have set in motion, the things that you have set in motion are prospering. Observe the timing, divine timing. Close, and I say divine timing, I entered that into there. Recognize that time spent thinking and observing is just as important as talking. Steps. There's nothing that needs doing just now. You can be confident in your success. Be confident in your journey. I'm going to pull some messenger oracle cards so that you can get a message from the angels and from spirit and from the ascended masters right now. I want a message from the ascended masters and the angels. Okay. Ascended masters and angels, what is your message today for the collective in relation to this reading? What is your divine message to the collective in relation to this reading for and feminines, divine soulmates? The ascendants are telling you, seek the lesson. What's happening here? Can't ignore 5D sense. You're focused. So pain is gonna lie to you. Make the sacrifice. And when I'm talking about the mundane and being stuck on the mundane world, let go of it. This you need to make within yourself, because that's the one thing that is holding you back. Love is, it's guys, the love that you have for your divine counterquieted love. Okay? It's not unrequired either part. So that's supposed to give you clarification and understanding law and cosmic law of love and how it works within you and how your emotions flow with it. Understanding the difference as separating yourself from the mundane idealist views of what you have of it. Because what you want isn't what you need, sweethearts. Okay? And sometimes the things that you need don't come in the form of the things that you think you want in the back of your mind. You have to clear that out, make that sacrifice to let go what was and what will be, what is and what will be. You have not, okay? And if you have not seen it, then you don't know what is best for you. You know what you discern between the two of knowing what you want and knowing what you need. Make the over and over in your mind. You've got the truth. The truth has been handed to you. From whatever you choose to do with the truth from this point forward. Okay? And I mean that can go good or bad. That is your choice in the matter. You have free will. Choose to stay in a life of suffering. Chariot, let go of some of these, the mundane way of doing things from the 5D perspective. And divine is with you always through through unconditional love. Your soulmate walks till the end of time. Okay, this is an eternal connection. It does not go away. I don't care if you don't lifetime. Okay, Spirit is telling you to get with the program. You have been given the truth. You've been given, and you've been given the autonomy of your own. And you right now in these right now hours. You're not alone. You may be alone physically. You may not have that loving counterpart sleeping with you next to you every night, caressing, but that is the mundane. And that is advice. You have to stop way of thinking that you desire. There will always be an obstacle because that you desire to go of the mundane illusions of what you think that love should be. Okay. And if this triggers you, the truth of resolution that I can send out to you right now, because if this hurts, if it triggers you, it's supposed to trigger you to make you go back down deep and purge. And purge. Okay? So for right now, in these right now hours, this right here, okay, guys, you cannot make this shit up. It says you were born to create. You want to create for yourself more suffering and light, because that is that's you in your own autonomy. Mundane. I'm born to create goals. The opposing energy doesn't want you. So take that into consideration. Okay? While you're battling with yourself. Okay? Are you your own listening, connecting to your inner soul, connecting to your inner love, unconditional love? Or are you going to allow lower vibrational energy to stand in your way during this journey, keeping you from me on this path? I sure as hell don't hold on to the mundane way of thinking so that I create more blocks for my hell no. I'm purging because I know I was born to create. And I know you were born to create a life far beyond what your thought bullshit. I'm not gonna bullshit. I'm too old for it. Own autonomy. Unconditional love where there are no restraints. There is no suffering. Where there is no suffering within the bounds of unconditional love. Okay? And that is why that law, numero uno, cosmic law. Why? Because Murphy's law ain't because love also transcends through any law, through time and space. Period. That is why it's the greatest tool. This right here, that light, right of creation, that spark of creation, that is of your hand. And this is also a lesson that was brought to you if you were on a twin, because on my twin flame journey, this was the greatest lesson that I have learned through that connection, straight up, is knowing that unconditional love conquers all. For real. No lie. Can't make this shit up. See what else that extended mouth to give us oracle message to finalize this reading of atonement